Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, we have a really fun episode. We're going to be reviewing Spider-Man number 5, the Dan Slott and Mark Bagley run. And before we get dived into that, I do want to let you guys know about the 600 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 600 subscribers, we'll be giving this book away. It's a Marvel #1 variant. All you have to do is like the video, comment down below, and be subscribed to the channel, and that'll give you a chance to win. Alright guys, let's get dived into Spider-Man number 5. Now, as always, we're going to be going heavy into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this issue, then that is your warning. Next up, we always shout out the creative team, because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book, right guys? So on this issue, we have Dan Slott as the writer. Mark Bagley is doing pencils, John Dell's doing inks, Edgar Delgado's doing the colors, and VC's Joe Caramagna's doing the letters. I feel like it's slightly important, so I'm going to read the foreword here, or the second half of it here. Says, Peter and his spider allies are fighting for their lives against the ancient wasp totem Shathra. In her quest to dominate the web of life and destiny, Shathra is subsuming spiders from across the Spider-Verse into her great nest. One sting from Shathra's wasps makes a person a part of her hive. Shathra's forces also possess the totem dagger, capable of severing one's ties to the great web and erasing them from reality, a fate suffered by Spider-Woman and Peter. But if Peter was erased from reality, who is that man with the Oscorp name tag that reads Peter Parker, who just received a mysterious spider-filled package? And it shows hours ago. We kind of relive the moments of Peter Parker disappearing from the web of reality. And then we kind of start with this story of the Peter Parker from an alternate universe, and just to kind of make this make a lot of sense, in this alternate universe, he was bitten by the spider first, and Silk was bitten by the spider second, and so he doesn't actually have super powered strength. He has super powered intellect. That's the best way to describe it. And Silk ended up with the super powered strength in this universe. And I'm going to read a little bit of this so you can get kind of the idea. And so he's thinking, he's like, it's funny, but for some reason, I can't remember how it all started. I mean, you'd think it'd be the most important day of my life. Well, whenever it was, the moment I got bit by that old science bug, it changed me forever. Chemistry, biology, physics, I could never get enough of it. That's why I always have my nose in a book, or I'm listening to a lecture or watching some exhibit, because as long as I'm learning something new, that's all that matters, and I don't want to miss a second of it. And so that kind of gives you a little insight into him. If you see, there's a lot going on in this. I definitely couldn't read all of this, but just to surmise a little bit of what's going on is, I guess this is a little bit of my opinion. I honestly really enjoyed this episode. They really endeared me to this alternate universe Peter character. We're introduced to his supporting cast, which is the same supporting cast as our universe's Peter, but circumstances end up different. And as we go through this story, we see that he's picked on by Flash Thompson, and kind of sad about it. But Aunt May and Ben are still alive at this point. And we come to the point of the story where Ben dies, right? Except this time in the story, Peter jumps in front of the bullet, and so Peter takes the bullet for Uncle Ben, saving Uncle Ben's life. And as we see here, as Uncle Ben sees that Peter's been struck by the bullet, his reaction is to clobber that crook. And so he clobbers him, but they have to call the paramedics right away, right? And we see Peter's in the hospital, and he's unfortunately lost the use of one of his legs, and so he has to walk with a cane. And we see him back in school, and this time he's being picked on by let's see, Jason Ionello. So he starts getting picked on by Jason Ionello. And who do we see show up but Flash? And Flash Thompson kind of, tells Jason to go away and leave him alone. And Flash says, "Peter, I was wrong about you. I heard what you did for your aunt and uncle. That took guts. Hell, that's got to be the bravest thing anyone I know has ever done. What are you all looking at? Don't you know what we got here? This kid's the biggest damn hero in all of Midtown High. Come on, let's hear it for Parker." And that kind of swings his luck, as we see he ends up sitting at the cool kids table with Flash Thompson, and we get a scene here where Sandman actually breaks into the school. Peter doesn't know quite what to do, but Silk actually swoops in, saves the day. His spider sense kind of tingles and stuff, and so he gets this sense that maybe he's somehow close or attached to Silk, right? We get this great rendition of I'm sorry, of the Daily Bugle editor guy, and he's just angry, right? And he's just like he is in our universe, except he's hell-bent on stopping this new Spider-Woman and J. Jonah Jameson. And so the Jonah Jameson in this universe is just as hell-bent on stopping the Spider character. But interestingly enough, he's kind of talking with Flash, and it gives him this idea that maybe he should help Silk, right? And so he decides that's what he's going to do. So he starts making all this tech and all this stuff. Gets in contact with her using his spider sense, is what they say. And a little bit more of Mark Bagley's awesome artwork. So he meets up with Silk and kind of tells her what's going on, and that he would like to help her. And she basically accepts his help, right? And as we're going through this, we sort of fast forward in time a little bit as we see Peter's just this version of Peter does very well scholastically. Him and Flash Thompson basically grow up as friends. They end up going to college together, and they graduate, and now in today, in this alternate reality, Peter is employed by Harry Osborn at Oscorp, and so we kind of get back to where we were at the end of last issue, with this new Peter Parker character kind of standing over this help sign, and so that is where we finish Spider-Man 5. Thoughts on the issue? I'm just gonna be honest about it. I really enjoyed this one. There was something about the way that it was written with this new Peter character that worked for me, and I felt like, this universe's Peter was just like our Peter, and he's a really good kid. And I don't know, like I said, kind of spoiled a little bit of my review. This issue endeared this new Peter character to me. I do want to see him save the day. I think he has it in him, and he really is like a very similar Peter Parker to our Peter Parker, as far as as how good of a person he is, right? But he's gone through some different things, which I kind of find it interesting. Like I said, you know, he doesn't have the superpowers. He has a super intellect. He doesn't have the use of one of his legs, so he has to use a cane. It's just kind of interesting. For me, it was interesting. And how they kind of started you off early in the story, and then, you know what I'm saying, early in his story, and then they spent this whole issue just kind of letting us get to know this guy, and I think they did a good job of it, and I enjoyed it. I can't say, you know, you should read the first 4 because this one makes all the other 4 worth it. That is not my that is not where I'm at with the review. It's actually more just like, this could be the start of things getting better in this title. I think there's only one more of the Across the Spider-Verse, and then, you know, we're hopefully going to get into some really good stuff. I totally have faith that Dan Slott and Mark Bagley can deliver an amazing Spider-Man title. And you know, this is just an answer to a lot of some stuff that a lot of fans have been asking about from the Spider-Verse, and I think Dan's trying to do his best. And he's introducing this new character. It was kind of interesting. I had fun with it. I don't know what else to say. Spider-Man 5 gets a thumbs up, right? But hey, that's what I got this week. As always, if you guys watch this far into the video and like this kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, help spread the word about me on YouTube with the algorithm and all that good stuff. As always, we'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.